Sup nerds, I'm Tom. We're going to talk about Succulent, which is a pretty straightforward Euro game. Gain resources, spend them on cards to get points. There you go. Succulent is designed by J. Alex Keverin. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, but I think it's the same designer as Passing Through Petra, which was another game by Renegade Game Studios. I thought that one was really clever, the way that you had a big line of these like worker type tiles and you pushed one in from one side and the other one fell out on that end, and it was these tiles multiplied by that, and that's who advanced on these little tracks. But we're not talking about that one, we're talking about this one. But point is, I thought that game was pretty clever, so I want to see if this one is as clever. And unfortunately, I don't think it really is. I think this game is fine. It was okay. So how you basically do on your turn, you have one of two actions. You are either going to place one of these flower bed tile things onto the board. There's singles, doubles, and triples. Or you are going to gain a flower bed. It's getting pieces stuck on my arm here. I do think how you gain them is probably one of the most unique factors, is that you put your little thing in your player color on one of these scoring cards, because on the bottom of the scoring cards, it allows you to gain more of these things in whatever sizes. Like this one lets you gain a 1 and a 2, this one lets you gain 2 2s, this one lets you gain a 2 and a 3, but that stays on there, and if somebody completes that scoring card, your little piece will bounce back to you, and then you also get what's called a large water droplet, which is, it's a good resource to have. You can place it out here. It gives you points and stuff. It's basically, you get a good thing for that. So it's like cool how you definitely are going to have to gain more of these throughout the game. So you're going to be placing your piece on a scoring card that you hope somebody else or yourself is going to score, such that you can gain a benefit from that. So I think that's a cool player interaction. But anyways, you're either going to gain more by doing that, or you're going to place your little thing out here and you slide in one of your flowers into the hole on the little piece. I guess that's pretty cool. It's a nice component. I like the way that works. But whatever you cover up, you get those resources, either be it water droplets or the different types of cuttings, I think they're called. But I mean, come on, they're just different color resources: blues, reds, purples, and whatever. There is a slight placement aspect, because obviously as you're filling up the board, you're making it harder for people to get the color or the combination of colors that they want, but also like the way you place is significant for scoring cards. If you place adjacent to another player's flower or your flower, you will gain a water droplet. Like whenever I place my tile next to another player's tile, like specifically the flower on the tile, but whatever. Whenever I place that next to any other flower, that player will gain a water droplet, either me or another player. So I could be trying to avoid placing it right next to where another player has their stuff, but maybe it'd be worth it, because sure, I'll give them a water droplet, but I get the 2 colors that I really need so I can score this card. And what water droplets are is you put them on this little board, and they're actually like fractions of a resource. So like this one, if you put 4 water droplets in this section, well then this board is kind of full in a sense, and you can spend those water droplets to as a red, essentially. Well, I have this one costs 2 red and 2 purple, so I have 1 red, 2 purple, and then hey, I'll spend all these water droplets off this red section. That basically counts as a red. But also, if you put big water droplets on here, they always stay there, you don't have to spend them, and they count as points as well. That's about 90% of the game right there. I pretty much mostly explained it. I mean, there's obviously more little nuancy things to it, because as you start filling up this board, you're going to flip up more of the board. Like you're going to flip up these tiles to make the board bigger and start spreading more on there. There's a little bit of combo-y too, because once you are the one who covers up all the water tiles on the boards that are available, then you get to flip this up and you get to place one out there. I think it's a good game. It's decent. I will play it again. I just didn't love it. Okay, when I was talking about Passing Through Petra, I thought there were unique aspects to it, right? And I liked that. Like the game itself wasn't mind-blowing either, but I liked the unique aspects. It made me think a little bit differently. In here, it really felt like I'm gaining resources and then spending resources for cards. Like, I guess the way you get them is a little bit unique. Again, the placement on the map could be significant for scoring cards. It also is significant for, again, lining up with other players. I don't want to give them water droplets. I know I want to get a green and a blue, a green and a purple. There's a green and a purple next to each other. I guess I could place there. It just didn't feel all that different. It didn't wow me, but it's a Euro game. It's a pretty medium to lightweight, depending on how you view that. Medium to lightweight Euro game where you're collecting resources and spending them for points. Now, I always like Euro games. Euro style games are always fun. So yeah, it wouldn't be accurate for me to say that I disliked this game or that I had a bad time with it. Obviously, again, would play it again. Just don't feel it needs to stay in my collection. I guess Wes would probably keep this one, or if he doesn't, honestly, if this wasn't in either of our collections, I wouldn't be like, I don't think I'd find myself going, oh, I really want to play Succulent right now, but we don't have it. You know what I mean? Again, I don't want to trash on this game. I don't want to undersell it. It just didn't blow my mind. It was pretty straightforward and nothing really unique. I think the coolest thing, again, is that the way one of the mandatory things, one of the things you're pretty much going to have to do is to gain more of these tiles. And you do that by placing your thing on a scoring card. And then when that scoring card gets scored, you move it around. I'll place it on this scoring card. Well, I need more of these and nobody has scored this card yet. So I'm going to have to pick this up and put it on another card. But if the card that gets scored has my thing on it, I will gain a benefit. That's pretty cool. That's probably like the coolest thing about this game and the most unique thing. This getting a fraction of a resource with the water gems, I don't know. It didn't seem like that crazy of a thing to me. The fact that you could get points from it is a little cool, and there was a scoring card where you actually get, so it's only the large water gems on here that score you points, but there was a scoring card where these small ones will also score you points, so that's pretty cool. And I guess, it is kind of important to know what the scoring cards are, because some of them give you more resources or give you points for the way that things are out here. So you have to know that that's a thing to try and go for it a little bit instead of just placing things out there willy-nilly and then seeing that card flop up and be like, oh, if I had known that, I probably would have put more things on the edge or put more things in a line or whatever. So overall, this one's like a 5.5 or a 6 for me. Not terrible, not great, probably 5.5. Would play it again, but not jumping at the chance to do so. And I know I'm giving it a lukewarm review, but we do have a purchase link to every game we review in the description box down below. Also in the description box down below, we're going to have a link for Game Toppers, which is this really wonderful game top that you see we're playing on right now. It goes right on top of your regular table. It's what we played this game on, if you see some of the B-roll and pictures and stuff. I highly recommend you check that out. But also while you're down there, you should definitely subscribe to our channel so you'll never be bored.